Hello, here I am high atop the parking garage of the Ecova building, office building. There's the sign for Ecova. That's where I've been temping. We actually just have the top two floors of floors 4 and 5, and Pitney Bowes is on the 3rd floor, and various other things are on the 1st and 2nd floor. But so I'm out on my break and just decided maybe I'll make a little video, mostly for my buddy Jane in Bedford Hills, to see what Spokane kind of looks like. Hey Jane, this area here, however, turns out, now that I'm out here, I realize it's really an ugly area. Close to downtown, north of the Spokane River, there's a river that cuts Spokane between north and south. It runs right through the center of town, and it's the Spokane River. But this area just north of downtown is really not that attractive. But anyway, you kind of get a flavor for what's going on. I kind of feel stupid talking into a video like this up here, and people are getting off work right now because people start working here about 5 a.m. and so earlier shifts start getting off around 1:30. But here I am. I'm pointing my camera to the north, and starting that direction. That's where I grew up. That area up there, beyond the flag that's flying, where the ridge is. I grew up a bit under that ridge, close to that anyway, in the Shadle neighborhood, and that's where I went to elementary, junior high, and high school, and my high school was Shadle Park. I actually lived on the edge of that ridge, and I can't really determine where my apartment is. Actually, my apartment might be noticeable above the A in Ecova. Not sure if you can see it on here. But I grew up in a tiny little post-war bungalowish sort of house, which is really common in the neighborhood up there. A lot of housing that was built after World War II, and it's a lot of 1, 2, and some 3-bedroom homes in that area. I grew up in one of those. My mom still lives there, and everybody in Spokane knows my mother because of where she lives. And subsequently they know me, even if I might not know their name. Whatever. Anyway, I'll pan around here. Let's see this area. Parking lots, parking. There's another office building. Oh, this, I'll stop here. Straight ahead is the new, the arena. I still stumble over this newer names of some of these venues that we have. A lot of the venue names, I think all of the venue names have changed since the time I left Spokane back in 1997. But that actually is a new building that was built about 1997, and the prior building was called the Coliseum, and it was this horrific pink, Pepto-Bismol pink structure, aptly nicknamed the Boone Street Barn. And that's where I went to my first concert. I think that was the Beach Boys back in the day. But the arena is where they have rock concerts and hockey, some other sporting events, anything that takes a lot of loud people goes in there. I've never been inside it, but it's a pretty building. Above it, there's like a tower, castle tower sticking out above it. That is the top of the Spokane County Courthouse, and it does kind of resemble a castle. I used to know some history of this area. I used to teach it, but I don't remember it anymore. So maybe as I start remembering or start looking, I'll remember more. And sorry about my video skills. I really kind of stink. I'm just using my little Android phone. The building off to the right from the Coliseum, the cream-colored structure, multi-story structure, that's the county jail. It's full. Juvies in there, regular offenders, juvie offenders, whatnot. That's the jail. Alright, so we come around this direction. That's an apartment building. That's a TV, the ABC affiliate is located right there. And you can't really see anything from here, but straight ahead, just beyond the TV tower, you see a skeletal tent structure, and that was from Expo 74. So Big Expo came to Spokane in 1974, and that was 40 years ago. But that was, the tent structure was the U.S. Pavilion. There's the roundest sloped ceiling roofed building is IMAX Theater, is an IMAX theater. But that whole area, once upon a time, was, when it got developed initially 100 and some years ago, that was train yards right on the river. Now it's Riverfront Park, and the park itself has a lot of potential, but right now it needs improvement. It hasn't had a lot of dollar improvement for many, many years, and while it's still a decent park, it's not really the safest place to be wandering around anymore. But anyway, a river runs through it, right through there. Maybe I'll take a video of the river to show you later on. Pan around over here. There's another slopey ceiling building, and that was the Upper House or Convention Center. I think it's the Upper House that does that. And that was also built during the Expo back then. It's called something else now too, but I have no idea what. I sang there back in 1976, and I graduated there twice from high school and college, and I've sung in there for a few different things, and I've seen, that's where they show off-Broadway, traveling off-Broadway plays that cost, you know, that are a step up from the local theater. They're the traveling shows. But that direction is still downtown, and you can't really see it because this other building, I don't know what that is in the way. Pan around over here, straight ahead, not in the closest building, not the closest building, but the one beyond on the hill, that's Sacred Heart Medical Center. There's a lot of medical stuff around here. It's kind of a hub for doctoring. And the hill there is referred to as the South Hill because it is a hill and it's on the south part of Spokane. And that area there is probably closest in resembling what you would find in Westchester. It is where the original people started to settle when they started coming. And so you have a lot of the older homes, the hardwood floors, the homes with great detail, but you'll see that up there. In that area too, you have overall, not every part of that area, but most of it, the real estate's a higher price. You have a richer group of people up there overall. And Trader Joe's is up there somewhere, and Huckleberry's, and so it's probably the closest thing to Westchester that you'll get around here. Not that close to it, but close enough. And there's even a cathedral. That's an Episcopal Cathedral, St. John's, and again, there's history behind it. It's a regular, huge cathedral with a big rose window, stained glass window. And again, I don't remember the history there, but there you go. We pan around this way. The river is going that direction too. The river runs east to west through Spokane. There's still a lot of old industrial buildings around here because this is how it was built. It's kind of an old western style town. I don't know what that was ever used for, but there's silos off in the distance to the left there. I think that's either the Purina pet chow plant or a fertilizer plant. ADM, I think, owns that now. But there you go. This building in the forefront on the busy street down below is an old furniture manufacturer and store. It's out of business now, and looks like it's being remodeled. The Copper Top building is not an insurance building like you would find in New York City, but that is I think that must be the art building to Gonzaga University, if I remember right. I'm trying to think, but anyway, Gonzaga is in that area over there. You see the church off to the left, and that whole region is Gonzaga. You may recognize the name Gonzaga because their basketball team is probably the past 10 years has always made it to the national playoffs for college basketball, and so they have that sort of notoriety, I guess. The proper pronunciation in Spokane and for the university is Gonzaga, as opposed to the Italian pronunciation of the name Gonzaga. So there's a big mix-up, especially with the East Coast sportscasters that refer to it as Gonzaga as opposed to Gonzaga. But anyway, since the university prefers to call itself Gonzaga, it's Gonzaga. And that's that direction. This way you get the beautiful view of the parking lot, but I'm panning this way just to show you Mount Spokane. I live in that direction, which is northeast. I live probably not halfway to that mountain, but maybe a bit more than a third of the way up there. And so I have that same view from my apartment of the mountain, and I drive down this way. It's all surface streets, lots of stoplights, lots of roads, even though you can't see it from here. But that's Mount Spokane. Once you get up there at the base, or kind of going up there in the foothilly area, is Green Bluff, which is similar to an area like North Salem, or as you go up the thruway to like Mohonk and all of that with apple orchards and fruit orchards. Is a really lush fruit orchard area called Green Bluff. And then the mountain is big enough, tall enough to get a lot of winter snow, and so there's a ski resort up there, and so there's a lot of outdoor activity you can do around here. My college, which would have been Whitworth, which is Whitworth, the one that I graduated from, is straight north, so you can't see it. But that's that. Maybe at some point I will come take my camera out and shoot some areas that are prettier than what you're seeing right now. I didn't realize that I would just be having a cruddy view of everything from up here. But that kind of gives you an intro to Spokane. And I probably should go back in. My 15 minutes is up, both in terms of my 15 minutes of fame and my 15 minutes of break. So I'll go in. Oh, by the way, this is the Lilac City, formerly referred to, well, no, that's not the right way to say it. It is the Lilac City, and it's now also called the Inland Northwest. Used to be called Inland Empire, but I think people decided to change the name because Inland Empire sounds a bit full of itself. So it's now the Inland Northwest. But this is Spokane. It's about 250 miles east of Seattle and a long way west of anything else city-like until you get to Minneapolis, I think. There might be, I think that's it. I can't think of anything else I passed through that's even remotely as big as this area. Oh, that direction, again, is Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and beyond that is New York. Hi, I'm waving at you, New York. I miss you. I want to come home someday. I will see you then, and hopefully you'll come out and visit. Jane, there are prettier areas than this, so do come visit me, and don't take to heart too much about this really crappy area that I'm in. Oh, I'll show you this. Straight down there, that little hut in the parking lot is Spokane has a lot of nudie baristas, and they wear like pasties and bikini bottoms, G-strings, things like that, and you see lines of cars coming up to that one. And so I think they actually wear lingerie, so they're a little more clothed than these other ones. There's another one where they strap a gun to their waist because they keep getting robbed, so they've decided to arm themselves while they're wearing their G-strings and pasties. But anyway, it's a thing. I don't know if they have those things in New York. I never heard of them, but it's a big news story over here. But anyway, whoops, I'm not paying attention. I guess I will never be Alfred Hitchcock or a camera director. But anyway, that's that. Blah, 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 boring. I may or may not post this immediately, but it makes me nervous. Oh, I think my battery's dying, which is why it's not holding focus. So maybe I'll just post it without listening to it, so I don't have to listen to how horrific my voice sounds or how idiotic I sound in my stumbling and stammering here. But this was impromptu, and I had nothing planned really to say. So anyway, hopefully I'm not saying all the time and not sucking a lot of air to be really annoying. But anyway, maybe you'll see this, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll come out and get your car washed right there. I'll talk to you later. Bye everybody, whoever's watching this. Miss you. Bye-bye.